Let's start this short sequence on your back with your knees up and your feet on the floor. Find your breath, and then as you exhale, be aware of the contraction in the abdomen and press down gently through the feet. And then keep that gentle pressure through the feet and broaden through the back of the pelvis and all the way through the lumbar spine, reaching up, broadening the back. Press the shoulder blades very gently into the floor. Draw the arms down and turn the hands palm up and press the back of the neck gently in the floor and then release. Keep that gentle pressure in the feet so that the pelvis stays pressed down towards the floor. And take a few breaths and allow the whole back body to broaden and to soften so that you broaden the base of the rib cage and the upper back, keeping that gentle pressure through the feet so the back stays broad and long. Create more space if you can or need to. But even with that gentle pressure, the breath becomes easy, smooth, continuous, without any strain, really effortless. So staying very deeply relaxed in the upper abdomen and around the navel, even as you keep the pelvis long and broad on the floor. And then let's stretch the arms up overhead with an inhale and really reach out through the fingers. Still keeping the back broad and the whole back pressed against the floor. Feet are still active. Then reaching and breathing, feel the arms, shoulders, the armpits all opening. Take a breath or two. Notice you can breathe here even with this long extension. Interlace the fingers and press the palms of the hands away from the crown if that's an option. Otherwise, just reach up through the fingers. And you can take a couple of deeper breaths if you like. So you can use the breath to help you open through the chest, the lower ribs, and lengthening the body, and then soften. Resting breath. And now let's roll into just curl up. So drawing the knees and forehead together, and then rolling down on an inhale and roll up on an exhale. And we'll continue, do a couple of those. So you're moving with the breath, but kind of gently rolling down, inhaling. So the breath is still smooth and even, curling up, curling down. Feel the work through the belly as you do that. And now as you roll down, take a resting breath, feet to the floor. And then lower the knees towards the right with your next exhale. And then inhale and bring your knees back across the body. And exhale, lowering the knees to the other side. Inhale, bring them back across to the center. And take a few more in that way. You can have the feet still on the floor, or if you would like to draw the knees up or the thighs up over the torso, that might help to feel more contained in the back if your back is tender. But make sure that you are using your abdominal wall to roll back in the other direction. And then now, let's lower the feet to the floor. Knees are still bent. Bring your hands to the lower belly, and on an exhale, give an extra contraction in the lower abdomen and the pelvic floor as your feet press into the floor. And then gently and smoothly release on the inhale. One more time. Feet into the floor. Contract strongly with the exhale, drawing the abdomen towards the floor. Squeezing and then smoothly releasing on the inhale. Take a resting breath. And now press the arms into the floor alongside the body, feet into the floor, and peel the pelvis up off the floor and roll the spine, roll up off the floor with your belly and all the way up to the upper part of the back. So your chin comes towards the sternum, or more accurately, sternum towards the chin. Roll down through the spine, Pelvis comes down last, and then we'll repeat one more time. Feet into the floor, lift the pelvis, and peel the spine up off the floor. And then roll back down. Take a resting breath. And again, moving a little bit side to side with the legs. And then let's roll all the way over and come face down. Bring your feet just a few inches apart and the arms alongside the body and beyond the forehead. So you're not just lying collapsed on the floor, but rather fairly active, face down. Draw the shoulder blades down. The arms are alongside rather than on the floor. Tops of the feet press into the floor. And on an inhale, lift the legs and then lift the chest, the arms, and the head. Keep your gaze straight down and the back of the neck long. Hold for a breath or two, keeping an easy breath, and then come down slowly on an exhale. Take a resting breath with your face turned to one side or the other. And then come back to the starting position, forehead on the floor. Arms down alongside. Inhale, lift the legs, the chest, the arms, and the head. Couple of breaths here. And when you're ready, you'll exhale down and turn your head in the other direction for another resting breath. And after a breath or two here, when you're ready, bring your hands under your shoulders and press back either to child's pose, you're sitting on the heels and the forehead is down, or if you are interested in downward facing dog, come ahead to that. Keep your knees bent or your heels up or both if you feel very tight in the hamstrings. And feel free to loosen up a bit here. Same thing in child's pose. You can move your hips a little bit side to side to soften up through the back. Walk the fingers forward and stretch through the arms. And then let's all step the right foot forward. We'll take just a bit of a opening here. So opening across the top of the thigh. You can use blocks or furniture. The knee can be up or down. Make this a comfortable stretch for you, but try to keep the knee over the ankle and a bit of a challenge across the back leg. Another way to work here, if you're well practiced, is to bring the hands to the thigh and or to bring the arms up into almost into a backward bend here, but still keeping really strong through the legs. You can also do a twist. It's a bit of a turn. And then let's come back either to downward dog or just to the hands and knees and step forward, and we'll do the other side. So again, same thing on this side. Taking the version of this that works for you in this moment today. Allowing both legs to be very strongly engaged. And whatever you did on the first side, we'll do that here. You can do the twist from a low position as well. Make sure you keep the neck in line and the head in line with the chest. And then sit back once more in child's pose or down dog. And then lower the knees to the mat and come all the way down onto your back. Bring your legs, feet towards the ceiling. So you'll be here, and then let's just lower one leg to an inch or two off the floor, and then inhale back and exhale, lower the other leg an inch off the floor, and inhale back. And repeat that once more or twice more with both legs. And then bend both knees over the chest and roll a little bit from one side to the other just to relieve any tension in the back. Bring the feet to the floor. And one more time, curling up, bring the knees and the head towards each other. And then slowly uncurling. One more. Exhale, curl. And inhale, unfold. And then stretch both legs long. So you're lying flat in Shavasana. And bring your attention to your breath. Feel the back of the body and feel the breath in the back of the body. So you're allowing the whole back body to spread and broaden and soften, releasing any effort. If there's tension in the lower back or you're more comfortable, you can bend the knees and keep the feet on the floor and stack the knees towards each other. Allow the breath to settle in to an easy, supportive, and relatively effortless rhythm. So the inhale and the exhale become even, and the breath becomes smooth and continuous. So that rhythmic regularity begins to soothe the nervous system, the body, the mind, and allows you to settle into a very comfortable and sweet inner state of being. Bring your attention to your face and soften the eyes and the forehead and the face. Soften the jaw, the jaws, and down through the throat, across the tops of the shoulders, softening the arms, let them rest on the floor. Feel your fingertips. Let them be tender, sensitive. Feel your breath. And then draw your attention back up through the arms, tops of the shoulders, down the upper back, releasing any holding around the shoulder blades. Let the upper back be broad. Softening the under the collarbones and down into the center of the chest. Take a few breaths there. And then soften down into the upper abdomen, to the navel, and into the pelvis, the lower abdomen. Feel the hips, the thighs, the knees, the lower legs, the ankles, the feet, and the toes. And then draw your attention from the toes, which now are sensitive also, back through the feet and up through the ankles, lower legs, the knees, the thighs, into the hips and the pelvis. Feel the navel, the base of the sternum and upper abdomen, the center of the chest, the hollow of the throat, and up through the back of the mouth into the center of the head. And rest your awareness there, being aware of the breath. And then exhale from the center of the forehead or the space behind the forehead to the nostrils, and feeling the sensitivity in the nostrils of the breath. And inhale back to the center of the forehead. Take 2 breaths in this way. Exhaling forehead to nostrils, inhaling back to the forehead. And now let's take a deeper breath. Gently move your fingers and toes. You can stretch the arms up overhead and stretch out through the feet and the hands and fingers with a big inhale if you'd like. Or if you feel inclined again to draw the legs up over and kind of curl up a bit and roll across the lower back. Do that instead, or do both. And then roll over onto your left side when you're ready and take a few breaths there. And then come up to sitting. Make sure you take a prop because we'll do a bit of pranayama now. So propping your hips in whatever way that you normally do, or sit on the chair. And then closing your eyes. And again, finding that inner sense of alignment and ease. So briefly softening eyes and then face, the jaw, your shoulders, relaxing the arms down through the torso, relaxing in the lower belly and the inner thighs, And let the sit bones draw down into your seat so the lower back lengthens. And then draw your attention back through the ease in the body, back to the center of the forehead, and be aware of the quality of your breath, letting your breath settle now. And when you're ready, we'll do a round of Kapalabhati. So you can bring your hand to your navel, in particular if this is a new practice or not a familiar one, or arms overhead can help you to drop your awareness down to the place where the strong exhale occurs. The inhale is passive and relatively fast. So we'll do 11 breaths. We begin by inhaling a little bit more deeply through both nostrils and then exhale in soft, spontaneous rebound inhale. And again, and then take a couple of resting breaths. Relax any tension in the respiratory system. So all of the movement is driven by this sharp contraction and immediate relaxation at the level of the navel center. Now for Analoma, we inhale through both nostrils. Then we'll close the left and do a strong exhale on the right, and then a long, deep, soft, full inhale on the right. And we'll do 3 breaths on the right in that way. So this is very different than Kapalabhati. It is a forceful exhale, but it's a long, deep, slow inhale, controlled inhale, 3 times, and then 3 resting breaths where you pay attention to the feel of the breath in the nose and let those breaths be spontaneous, but stay very clear and focused. And then we repeat 3 breaths on the left. So as you begin, inhaling through both nostrils and exhaling right. And then a long and slower full inhalation on the right. And repeat twice more. And now 3 breaths through both nostrils, spontaneously arising. Notice the awareness, the sensations, particularly in the right nostril. But also noticing the left nostril. And when you're ready, we'll repeat this same pattern, this time starting with a strong exhale on the left. And then 2 more breaths, exhaling left and inhaling left. And after your last inhalation on the left, release and exhale gently through both nostrils. Spontaneous breath for 3 breaths. And then draw your awareness from the touch of the breath to that space, either at the eyebrow center or a little higher, the space behind the center of the forehead. And exhale back to the touch of the breath in the nostrils, or even a little beyond. And we'll take a few breaths in that way, inhaling from the space of the nostrils or just beyond, wherever you can feel some sensation of the breath coming in,
moving to the center of the forehead and exhaling back to that space in front of the nostrils or in the nostrils. And now rest your awareness at that center of the forehead. Be aware of the inner spark of life that drives the breath and animates and supports the body and the mind. And ask that this inner place of stillness, of unconditional well-being, of inner stability, and of joyfulness be present with you throughout the rest of your practice, the rest of your day. Om, peace, peace, peace.